From research methods or statistics classes, you're probably quite familiar with the bathroom scale analogy about reliability. When you step on that scale across a number of days, if the same mass is applied, a reliable scale will give you the same output between the days. Well, have you thought about this from a human performance perspective? What would a reliable study look like?
In laboratory-based human performance research, determining the effect of interventions on exercise performance is often achieved through time trials or repeated sprint efforts. And various exercise modes are used to test participant performance, most commonly running treadmills and stationary cycles. However, research investigations, for example, on the effects of a supplement or an environmental condition, are dependent on the task being highly reproducible amongst participants. Ultimately, the participants' performance needs to be reliable for the researchers to detect small, yet meaningful changes in performance when an intervention is introduced. And as previously mentioned, while research has been validated on and focused on lower body dominant modes, such as running and cycling, whole body exercise like double poling on a SkiErg warrants more attention. We wanted to determine the number of SkiErg sessions needed for performance to become reliable. This was compared with both experienced cross-country skiers and other endurance-trained athletes, runners and rowers. In studying this, it may allow ourselves and future researchers to utilize the SkiErg as a reliable experimental exercise mode. And not yet investigated, we hypothesize that trained cross-country skiers may be more repeatable in lab-based research compared to other trained endurance athletes who are not familiar with the motion of double poling. To test this hypothesis, 19 participants performed the exact same SkiErg sprint workout 4 times on 4 separate days within a 2-week period. Participants' heart rates and ratings of perceived exertion were collected throughout the study to ensure maximal efforts were attained. Interestingly, what we found was that pacing profiles of all athletes, irrespective of whether a trained cross-country skier, the red line, or other endurance athlete, the blue line, were not different between groups. Notice how the two groups all seem to pace extremely similarly, with the main difference being lower power production from the non-ski trained athletes. Ultimately, this data suggests that repeated sprint performance on a SkiErg is substantially reliable across all endurance athletes. To conclude, our research found that SkiErg performance is reliable and one familiarization session is important to learn the repeated sprint task, irrespective of endurance sport background. My name is Alex Maycock and I am a graduate student researcher at Nipissing University in North Bay, Canada. Thank you very much for listening today to this reliability presentation in an applied research setting.